A Marauder, Horsemen, and Horsemasters in a good patch 6.1.4. As much as I want to get to the beasts and monsters, these units are frequently seen in Norscan forces, and we've probably all worked out how to try and defeat them. Let's go over how this looks from the other side of the Fiora, and how you can get them to do damage and get wrecked less. The base Marauder Horseman unit costs 525 gold and 131 upkeep. Not that bad. On Ultra, this gets you 60 entities at 5,460 health unit-wide. Armor is 15, no shields. Leadership 48 is low. Speed 90 and charge speed 110 are not. Those are high. Melee attack begins at 22 with an attack interval of 5, not the usual 4. This means they are slower in melee, which is the case for a lot of early series cavalry. No splash damage. Melee defense begins at 20, and that's not very high either. Weapon strength 24 is split base 19 and armor piercing 5, which again is cut rate, but better than Warhounds. Charge bonus is 24 and mass is 500. So this unit would be pretty hard to appreciate, except for the fact it has javelins. Ammunition begins at 16. Range is 80 meters and it fires in a 360-degree arc. Nominal missile strength is 24, but actual impacts are base 15 and armor piercing 7 per hit. There is not a bonus versus infantry or large. Reload time is 9. Total accuracy, the basic 20. Calibration distance of 50 means it's accurate until somewhat further out compared to max range. Calibration 2.3 is not that much spread. And penetration cap small, and max targets penned after the first of 2, so you can get lucky on packed targets. This unit has the Rage passive, Vanguard deployment, Hide in Forest, and Fire whilst moving. The Throwing Axes version changes up the formula quite a bit. Recruit for 625 gold and 156 upkeep. Entities and health are the same. Armor is still 15, but this unit gets a cavalry shield blocking 30% of small arms fire from the front. Stats remain the same until going all the way down to melee defense, which at 26 is 6 better, probably thanks to the shields. Of course, the ranged is a lot different. Ammunition 12 is 4 worse, since compared to the infantry, 16 javelins was actually better. That was actually unusual. Range 70 is even closer range, missile damage nominally 27, each thrown axe hits for base 6 and armor piercing 21, reload time 10 seconds base, which is worse than the melee infantry unit. Calibration distance a mere 40, calibration area 2, so drift is a little less than the javelins, still small target pen cap, and max targets penned after the first of 2, so luck can go your way to add extra damage. The traits are the same, including fire whilst moving. Now, Horsemasters are an elite variant, the only one available, at least for now. Recruited for 750 gold and 188 upkeep. It's still 60 entities, but 5,880 health, a bit more. Armor of 50 is a lot more, considering the starting 15. No shields, leadership 54 is better, but speed 90 and charge speed 110 are the same high level. Melee attack 26 is certainly higher, but attack interval 5, so restrain enthusiasm, because their attack speed is restrained. No splash damage. Melee defense 26 is still better than the base variant. Weapon strength 28 is split base 21 in the AP 7, like Empire Swordsmen and a lot of light cavalry. Charge bonus 30 and mass 750, so that's better. For ranged, these are javelins again. Ammunition 18, range 90, nominal strength 33, each javelin hits for base 18 and AP 8, reload time 8, total accuracy 30, calibration distance 55, calibration area 2.3, small pen cap, max targets penned after the first 2. This is a broad-based, across-the-board improvement in missile performance, and should not be underestimated at all. The traits are the same, so is the Rage passive. In the Redline skills, Beast Slayers grants ammunition plus 20% and missile strength plus 8%, meaning nothing to help the melee. Hardened Hunters grants rank 7 and up, missile strength plus 12%, reload time reduction 10%, and missile strength 15%. In the tech tree, Crafter's Barding grants armor plus 5 and melee defense plus 5, Horsemasters Clinchers adds speed plus 10% and charge bonus plus 10%. Now the latter is not that helpful for the hybrid missile horseman, but the speed is very useful. Axemaker's Stone adds plus 10% ammo and plus 15% missile strength because this is considered a Marauder missile unit. I checked in-game and it's a huge boost. Butcher's Captives would apply plus 5 melee attack and defense as with all Marauders, and all general Marauder techs apply. So how do we use the Marauder Horsemen? Since I do read your comments and I try to reply to virtually all, I have noticed you mentioning that the Horsemen have a large convenience factor compared to the missile infantry, and that's easy to understand. Speed like this and 360-degree firing is very nuts. But if you look at the damage numbers after these videos, they're markedly lower than what the missile infantry produced in short periods of time. If anything, I think the missile infantry ate more damage from the red team crossbowmen though. It's really funny to call light cavalry the more defensive option, but when you consider the advantages of speed and the ability to charge, they can tie down missile units more easily, but again, the raw damage from 90 more entities, even not firing at their ideal targets, is higher, and that's partly because both missile infantry are reload time 8 by default. So, don't spurn the missile infantry, but the horsemen absolutely have their place. If you're wondering where the melee cavalry is, I've concluded, and will state prominently in its own video, that the Warhound and Ice Wolves units are basically the faction's light cavalry, and do a pretty good job of it. Rather than simply use one or the other, having even one Hound unit to tie down archers where the Horsemen are free to fire into open infantry backs is probably better than having the Horsemen focus on that prior job. But you do what you have to do. Hybrid means you can pitch in wherever it's needed and do some cheeky rear charges, even if it's relatively low impact. I'm still going to insist the throwing axes are better than people give them credit for, but these javelins are still very decent for normal work, and the regular unit is easier to spam due to reasonable cost. Horsemasters are just plain better versions of the base unit. Hopefully you can use them aggressively and really pile up the damage, because that rank 7 redline boost, cranking up both how hard javelins hit, and also how fast they're chucked, is stupidly good. Take care and have fun raiding and pillaging! A Viking we go!